Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal.
Hey my baddies, what's good, what's good, what's good? You already know who it is, Nisi. If you don't know, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nisi the Shoe Plug. I'm definitely gonna change my name to Miss T. I haven't changed yet because honestly, y'all, I don't know what I'm gonna change it to. Y'all, I know for a fact, honey, I am behind the 8 ball. But here's the reason why. We're gonna get into it right quick because I'm actually outside of my house. Like, my house is over here. I have my car parked in this weird way for lighting purposes. And I'm warming up some food in my house. Well, it's in my oven. So I need to hurry it up and make sure we stay at approximately 15 minutes. I'm not playing this time. First off, I know I just had a video and I talked about me catching COVID in January. This is February. Almost the end of February. And I caught COVID again. I'm COVID free now. But this time, y'all, it kicked my behind. You hear me? But God had it under control, baby, so I was not worried about it. I had some days, y'all, where I was like, oh my goodness, is this the time that I should go to the hospital? But I'm so glad I didn't go. I used a lot of, I feel like I'm yelling. Why am I yelling? It's just me and y'all. But I used a lot of natural supplements. I did a lot of, OJ, a lot of raw garlic. It was disgusting. I think I did apple cider. I didn't do a lot of apple cider though, but it was more so just OJ, ginger, garlic, Motrin. I used like the Motrin liquid gels. Those work like everything for me. I think a couple of days before, like when I first started to get sick, I was using just the regular Motrins, and they did nothing. They did something. It just prolonged it. It just took so long to kick in. But I used the liquid gels. Those was great. I had days, y'all, I literally did not eat for like 3 days. I ate nothing. The first day of my 3 days, I ate like watermelons, and that was it. I ordered food. I went and got food, but I just had no strength to eat. But I definitely tried my best to keep me hydrated. I went and bought some electrolyte from the gas station. Those taste so horrible, y'all, but we're here now. I am good. I'm back in the routine of things. Actually, whilst I was sick and I was down, y'all, I got approved. I was going to wait to say, but I got approved for my new place. So happy. Cannot wait. I'm moving out of this city, baby. I'm so ecstatic. I'm not going to talk a lot about it because, sometimes I tell people, honey, when God has something for you, He has it for you. When you kind of speak too much, it can be a delay, And delay is never a deny, but it's just, let's keep it on the low right now. But I'm so excited, y'all. I'll let you know where I'm moving, all this other stuff, blah, blah, blah. In time, soon. You got some time, but close to it. I'm so excited, y'all. I literally have been wanting to do this for so long. But we'll talk about that in another video. Today's video is how to set boundaries. All about boundaries with your friends, boundaries with your family, boundaries with your kids, boundaries sometimes in your intimate relationships, honey. Yes, all your relationships. This is what it's about. And I do have my book. I think I had that written down in my book. So I was actually like, typically I try to have like notes and stuff or whatever, but I was doing TikToks. I've been on TikTok for a while because, like I said, I was out due to COVID. So I was doing so much, and I was like, T, we just got to get this together real quick, but I definitely want to make sure I'm giving y'all content, just kind of not just learn things like y'all. But these are the things that like I said, in past videos that I've worked on. So it's just a sense of me kind of like bringing everything in my head together, if that makes sense. So I hope I don't sound like I'm all over the place, y'all. But how to set boundaries. First off, let me just make this quote that Iyanla Vanzant. I think I speak about Iyanla a lot because I feel like she literally, it's when somebody is older, and not old, but just older than you, of course there are more, some, not all of them, but you have some that's wise, especially the ones that does the work. So I personally love to listen to people years and older than me, and younger ones too, because we're from different generations. But I tell people, for me, I've learned to eat the meat and throw out the bone. So I go through a little bit of everything just to see what makes sense to me in my life. So Ayanna Vanzant has this quote, and she says, when you draw a line in the sand, don't back up and draw another one. And that's what I refer to when it comes down to boundaries. So for me, when I put something set in stone and I make it very clear that this is what it is, this is what it's not, I'm not backing back and drawing another line, right? So let's say we're speaking about family, and that was a big thing for me, setting boundaries with my family, especially close family members of mine. You know, kind of, especially like when you're on a self-development journey, it's hard when it comes down to your family or your friends because they feel like they know you, you know, or they know this past you, or they know this person that you thought you were, and you're coming now into this new person, this new higher frequency of yourself. And it's hard sometimes for people that feel like they know you because they're like, well, she talking about she meditating this time, I'm finna call her, I'm gonna go knock on the door. No. So I had to learn how to set boundaries, and so in those ways I had to learn how to set boundaries by just saying no. You know, I don't want to, I have no time to. That was something big for me because I'm learning not to be a people pleaser. So for me, I felt like I always had to say yeah, always had to be down with things that I'm not. So for me, like I said, I had to learn, number one, how to be true and stand true in who I am, you know what I mean, and what's important at that time. So if I have a friend or my family member or somebody say, oh, you want to go to this place, you want to do something, and I know, okay, for me, like I just kind of made that announcement of me wanting to move so badly. Honey, I was saving my coins, okay? I was saving my coins. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to do too much of nothing until for me, I feel like if I'm going to celebrate, I need something to celebrate, you know? So, for me, I felt like, for a long time, if I say no to this person, or I just say no to my friends, or they're going to get mad. Some do, you know, they'll get over it if they're your real friends, you know what I mean? But for me, that was so big. So I just started, saying to myself, well, Tanisha, like, I talk to myself in a sense, like, okay, T, if you go and you do this right now, you spend this money for this, you spend $200, $300 just to get yourself together, you go out, you know how you is, T, you like to, make sure everybody around you having a good time, too. You're going to be able a good $300-$400 for the night. And that's $300-$400 you could save for moving or a part for your furniture. So when I started to speak to myself in that, it's like, that makes sense. Like, when you speak to yourself about shit that is logically, like, clear, and at some point it's like, if you don't want to do it, it's because you just don't want to. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's because you don't have discipline, period. And I do feel like boundaries also kind of connect with being disciplined, because you can set boundaries all day, but if you're not disciplining your boundaries, then you're just going to keep back and drawing lines all through the sand. Okay? So for me, when I learned that, boundaries became easier for me. When it comes down to relationships, I felt like I'm learning, and as you guys know, I've been single for 3 years, and I don't know why I smile when I say, because I'm not happy, but I'm also not sad. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I've learned so much, y'all. I'm about to keep licking my lips. I learned so much about myself within that time period that it's nothing for me to be sad about. You know what I mean? But for me now, I had to learn that, as y'all know, like, I love to create. Make sure y'all follow me on my TikTok. But I love to create. That's just something I personally love to do. I love reenactments. I love to make people laugh. I love to give, in a sense. And I told you, I'm a people pleaser. But I'm learning how to please in ways that is beneficial also for me, and things that I like to do as well. So for me, I'm learning that in my relationships, yes, I do love affection. Yes, I love to spend time with my man, my person. But I also need that space for myself as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether that's just me hanging out with my girls, for a day or two, and I don't see you for a day or two, you know what I mean? Or especially like when I'm doing my content, when I'm content creating, like, I love to be by myself. I feel like for me, I bring the best out of like my work when I'm by myself, and that's a part of me also being introverted. Like, I love to work alone, and I feel like, again, and it's not just that I like to work alone. I'm the best when I'm working alone, if that makes sense. So I don't mind staying at your apartment, you know what I mean? I'll see you tomorrow, babe, you know what I mean? So I had to learn how to set those boundaries. I had to learn how to, allow myself to have my time. I'm learning how to allow myself, and my girls to have our time, and then you can go out, you can have your time. We meet up in between. For me, I feel like those things are, for me, again, a little more fun to, You know what I mean? But that's something I also had to learn. So I said all of that, guys, to say setting boundaries has to be something where you're stirred in your words. You know, a lot of times too, when we set our boundaries, especially when it comes down to family members, we're not, especially when it's your first time setting boundaries with anybody, especially when they're close to your friends or, you know, your intimate relationships. We don't tell people necessarily what our boundaries are. We kind of like do this like we're defensive in a sense for a lot of times, you know, like because you know, it's our first time. And for me, I definitely was in defense, like when I was speaking to one of my family members, and I'm like, listen, you know, like, well, this is what it like. I'm like, I had to do this and this and that. No, that's not how you set boundaries. You set boundaries by making it very clear, you know, and not talking at a person, just letting them know, like, rules. You know what I mean? When you go in, like back in the days when I was in school, you know, we had rules. And it was like, you are not allowed to this, no gums in this. It's just plain and simple. Lay it out. You get what I'm saying? And the thing is, and I tell people too, boundaries are not for the other person. Boundaries should be for you. For you to, for a person not to cross over a line that's your comfort zone. For instance, like, this here is like my space. Like I say, like, I love to content create. That's something I love to do, and I love to do by myself. And if you're just, you know, ignoring everything I say, you know, or ignoring, like, oh, okay, well, you trying to content create, I'm gonna just sit over here, I'm not gonna bother you. That is for my space. Like, no, I know you're not gonna bother me, but I'm letting you know, whilst you're here, you being here, you're not, like, I'm not gonna flourish the way I would if I was just in here by myself. That makes sense? Like, boundaries has nothing to do with nobody else. It has everything to do with you and support, and making sure your comfort zone, making sure you're happy within your space. And, like, for me, I had to learn that, again, your cup runneth over means that what's inside of that cup, what's in that cup, I was looking for something, y'all, but I ain't got nothing here, is for you. What comes out of that cup, though, is what comes in that cup is for me. Now, what comes out of that cup is for the world. You get what I'm saying? So if you are coming into my cup, you're taking out of my boundary. You're taking out of the things that I like, the things that makes me comfortable. You get what I'm saying? And I would not allow anybody to get in my cup. Get your hand out of there. Okay? If I'm not pouring out, you get nothing out. It's just that simple. So I had to learn, again, you know, my cup runneth over. And my cup runneth over when my boundaries are being respected, and when I'm also living up to my boundaries. That's another thing too. You have to hold people accountable for, you know, you have to hold people accountable when they cross over that boundaries as well. How it looks like to you, it's solely upon you. But my boundaries is, I don't play about my boundaries. Oh, I don't play about my boundaries at all. I make what I gotta say. I try my best because I'm honest. I'm very, very stern. No, I'll give you 2 chances. I'm gonna make it very clear. After that second chance, after that third chance, I ain't doing no third chance. Once I said what I said twice, that third time, it's done. You get what I'm saying? Like, and when I say done, it doesn't mean that you're done out of my life. It's just, you know what? I'm going to have to sit down and sit you down and make it clear. The reason why right now I feel like we just need some time, or we need some space from each other, is because I'm telling you exactly what it is that I want and what I expect from you. And every time I tell you, it's like you're just ignoring me, and you're just coming across into, you're disrespecting that line that I've created for us to have a mutual understanding. You get what I'm saying? And when you realize that becomes an issue, or when it becomes an issue, I'm going to have to personally ask you, listen, I need you to stay in your corner. You get what I'm saying? You do what you do over there until you can get there right. You stay over there. Now, when you do, call me. I don't have a problem with it. Like, you know, let's see what happens again. But it's definitely not going to be a continuous thing where I feel like I have to continuously check you. We're not doing that. Okay? So for me, overnight type of situation. Setting boundaries, honey, takes time. You won't realize, like for me, I had to, it's certain things, and it's also, and I tell people too, self-journey, setting boundaries, learning things about yourself that you realize is for you. These are journeys. You get what I'm saying? So when you make your first announcement, or, you know, when somebody respect that first announcement, it's like, oh, okay, well, I can probably go a little deeper with this. Like, I like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really, it makes you feel good about yourself. You get what I'm saying? Or even if when they don't respect your boundaries and you let them know, you stop them in their track, that also feels good. It's like, yep, I sure do. Hello. Like, no, we're not about to keep doing that because I said what I said and you, no. Shoot, won't you? Like, you mad, but you happy at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like I said, y'all, setting my boundaries with or learning how to set boundaries, it takes time. It's not an overnight situation. But when you start to get into the swing of things and you start noticing, like, okay, all right, this works for me. This is what works for me. You know what I mean? It becomes easier. And not just easier. You just feel more grounded in who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a sense of who you are because now you're making clear, precise boundaries again for people. And when you realize again, like I said, you're at a place where it's like, okay, like, you know, like that makes me feel good. Like, you know, that makes me feel good to know that I can stand up for myself. And it should always make you feel good when you stand up for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're giving people, situations or things that they can handle. Like, it should not be that hard of a deal unless you realize, okay, well, and then you start to realize too when people don't continuously disrespect your boundaries, then you realize, well, this person is just selfish. You know what I'm saying? Like, that had nothing to do with me. And if I continuously, put myself in a situation, that's all they're going to do, continuously take. So this is where I draw the line now. This is where the lines get drawn for good. So that feels good. And it's not nothing to be harsh, but it's at the same point in time, when you're announcing certain things, when you realize certain things about your life, and some conversations can be tough. Some, development or, self-work can be tough. I'm telling you, honey, it would push you. And the worst part, I tell people too, when you really start to get deep into your self-work, I feel like, and I'm a believer, and I just truly believe that when you start to learn who self is, I believe that God is also a part of you as well. So He's starting to give you work as well. You get what I'm saying? And then when you start to get all deep into it, and you for real about it, and you start to, let certain things pass, God show you like, oh, you want to start playing these games again? It's like, I don't know. But it works for me, and I personally love it. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I don't have a bunch of lines all over the place. But I have certain things. Like, for me, it has to be what it is. Like, this is how it is. This is what makes me me. And the minute I do not feel like me, you gotta go. And now I gotta go, y'all. This has been past 50 minutes, and now 18 minutes. I'm gonna chop this down like real quick. I love you guys so much. Make sure you guys follow me. Like I said, I got a I'm so happy. And if anybody who like is in my circle, y'all know how long I've been wanting to move. Okay? I did it by myself. Don't play with her. And as y'all know, if you don't know, honey, I am on my journey to 30, 2022. Well, first of you to know, like 222, that is numbers of them good numbers right there, honey. Them good, them great numbers right there. So it's a perfect time for me to turn 30. You know what I mean? It's a perfect time to start moving in a new city. I'm getting into a new age bracket, baby. I'm happy. I feel like people heard that outside. That was loud because it echoed in the car. Y'all, I'm so happy. Like, I am happy. Okay, COVID tried to play with me, but through me being sick, God was like, don't worry about it, honey. I got you. I'm going to give you something to make you feel good. I'm going to get into the story time. I'm going to get into all that stuff. But make sure you guys are following me because this is going to be lit. Okay? I love y'all. I ain't ate nothing all day. I've been doing TikToks. I literally went from the gym, came home, started saving the TikToks I wanted to do. I'll post them later on tonight. Now I'm doing YouTube. I'm about to go and eat. I need to take a shower. I'm about to go take me a shower, y'all. I literally went to the gym. Shouldn't be saying this. It's dark. It's like, this probably like TMI, but I really don't care, y'all. It's 4 something. It's about to be 4 o'clock in 2 minutes. I went to the gym at 10 o'clock this morning. Still ain't take a bath. Nasty. But I'm gonna take a bath. I love you guys so much. Make sure, please, you guys are subscribing. We need to hit 1,000 this year. I know I need to get more videos within the month, at least 5 to 6 videos within the month. But we gonna get there. Ooh, I just burnt. But I got a lot of stuff, honey, because why? She smelled me! already know because I'm about to move. New city, about to get killed, you know. Start putting myself out there, making myself known. I'm not, you know, searching for no man, but I'm definitely gonna be making myself known. Let's see what's good. See you guys. Love y'all. Make sure to subscribe. And I'm back now to putting all my social media and stuff down in my comments, in my description below. Love y'all. See y'all in another fucking video.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal.